Welcome back, guys. So today let's continue with where we left off. Yesterday we were trying to debug the complete flow of fopen. We managed to get through certain layers and we reached a final bug where inside when we try to pass the GDT block, we try to read the block number 1 because that's where the GDT is, because every index within the GDT is supposed to have the actual indexes of no actual physical blocks of inode table, bitmap table and stuff like that. So when we kept debugging and we managed to narrow it down to the block read error, because as you can see the file system actually when we read the block block 1 of that file system, we do have proper memory, but when we actually run the code, it is not there. So if we run hi if we run our setup, our file system, our block 0 somehow has zeros in the beginning, which is not correct. We are not supposed to have zeros, so probably it's something wrong with the block read operation. For some reason our block read in my assumption is supposed to take the block number and it is supposed to return 4096 bytes, but looks like it's not doing what I was expecting it to do. So I asked Claude to see what the fuck was going on, and looks like I made a wrong assumption. So my block read is taking a sector, and if I just clicked on it I would have found it, but I myself just thought that the name block read suggests that I'm supposed to pass a block number and it should return the entire block. That was just my assumption, which was wrong, but the function itself on its own is specifically saying we are just providing sectors and we are passing that sector down here. Yeah, so we are supposed to pass a sector, not the entire block. We are not supposed to try to get the entire block, and now I have to understand. Yeah, here it is. When we make the request, we give the request type and the actual sector that we want to read. So now I want to understand what is the difference between, because I don't remember diff of sectors and blocks in ext4. We also have to give ext4 file system ext4 file system. So let's see. So sector is a physical unit. So sector is the actual one that is supposed to have 512 bytes. Can we check what is the current sector length of an X4 image. Okay, I guess we can use the fdisk. Let's try that. Holy fucking moly. Where's my window? This is one, this is two. Probably I have it in two. Okay, let's try. If we go into our, it's not here. It should be Docker. Yeah. Okay. So if we try fdisk here, do we have fdisk? Looks like we don't have fdisk. Probably we'll have to install it. Is there anything by default? Can we get it with wait, what do I actually have? I do have DUM2 EFS. Okay. Match, and I just pass my image, which is X4 image, and I look for grep for block count, block size is 4096. So my block size is 4096. So should I assume that my sector size is 512 bytes? I guess let's install fdisk. Let's install fdisk. Okay, let's install that. Install fdisk. There's no fucking fdisk package. That is not the package name, you piece of shit. Package name was package name. Probably it is built in with some other package. Ah shit. Yeah, disk package. Looks like that package does exist. Then why the fuck it's not here? We need to update. Okay, we just had to update. Okay, now we have updated it. Now let's just try fdisk-l. Next X4 image, and we have, what do we have? Sector size is 512 bytes. But let's see, how does fdisk know that sector size? How does it calculate it? Because maybe we might need to do the same thing in ourselves and find it. If the image on its own is not providing this info, then how is everyone else able to infer this? I should have typed if. I typed is. So it is also just fucking guessing. I guess they just simply try and guess. So let's also do the same fucking thing in our side. Also now, because my function name says it is block read, I'll probably have to write another function that's gonna wrap sector read and give the final thing, something like that. Okay, let's do that. Let's copy, let's paste this here, and let's change this into sector read. And now let's say what we can say. So if it depends on the block. So currently we're just gonna, so if we pass, let's say I need to read block 1, what does that mean? That means I need to read from sector 8, because every sector is of 8 bytes, which at least in our case it's going to have 8 indices. Because yeah, 8 logical sectors. Okay. Does that mean I just say sector divided by, or sector divided by 8, and if it's 0 then it's I just read no, sector into 8. So if it's block 0, I put into 8 and it would just give 0. So I put 0 to 8 sector. If I pass block 1, then I put into 8. So I start from 8 plus 8 index. So I can just do that math. So the base would be even 32. Starting index would be sector But what if they pass a sector that is, but in this case they are just gonna pass blocks, right? Block into 8. 8 is the, uh, in our case, let's just type 8 here means 40. It as a single sector is of 512 bytes. So 8 into 512 is 4096 bytes, which is a block. Okay, so we get the starting index and the ending index would be event 32 ending index equal to starting index plus 8. That's it. Now we can put a for loop, so, and we say starting index and starting index less than ending index. Yeah, because we start from 0th index, so we don't have to put greater than or equal to, and plus starting index. No, let's just put I equal to event 32 I equal to starting index and I less than ending index and I plus plus. This should be better, so we don't manipulate the actual type. Now we can actually read the sector, but here's the another issue. Here we have the entire data. We can just pass data plus 8. No, data plus 512 bytes. Yeah. So it's going to be char star current data equal to data plus I into 512. So initially it would be 0 and first index it would be 512 and second index it would be blah blah something, and it should work. And then I can just pass block reads. Now I can actually do sector read and I can pass the current sector as I and data as just data and size as in 512. I believe it should work. Let's just say even 64 out equal to 0. That is the how many bytes we actually read. So it's going to be out plus equals to sector read, and we can just return that, return out. I guess we don't have to change anything else. It should work. If my calculations are correct, it should simply work. If not, I must have done something wrong. Let's try. Okay, let's just put sector read in the top. Now we should be good to go. What? No, what happened? Maybe we missed the total iteration, because in our case, when we say there's a size, that means uh, we have to give the number of iterations to. Not really. I just divide the size by 512. Let's say size is 4096. So if I divide it by 512, I would get 8 here. This way everything is dynamic. So we get a block number, we get the starting index into size divided by 512. No, starting index plus, because probably we might want to read as many as sectors from the starting sector based on the size. I think so. Let's just first check if the initial examples worked, because since we have changed the entire thing, we might have to confirm if these two blocks are actually working. So here we are saying we want to write to block 1000. Initially we were writing to sector 1000, now we are actually writing to block 1000. So it should be sector 1000, right? So one block has 8 sectors. 1000 divided by 8, it's 125th block. From 125th block we write 512 bytes. Let's check. Can we do what in Rust? We can do everything in Rust. Rust is the easiest language. Holy fucking moly. It's not working. Maybe it is working. I didn't understand what you want me to do in Rust, bro. If you tell me what you want me to do in Rust, I'll try. Let's just stop here and see what is happening after this line, so we know what the fuck is happening here. So let's just put while one. We just don't want to stop here. Let's kill it. Let's run it. What happens? Looks like we are stuck. What the fuck? Let's see if we came out of it. What are we here? What? I need a comma. Or it would sound. What are we here? Ah, fuck me. Okay, now it's better. Now if I run it. Okay, so I did come out of it, so I guess I just have to print it. Let's see. Let's just copy this and paste it here. Let's see what's inside that. And just systems development. I'm confused how to start all of that. You can start with this MSW. What is that? MIT open source file. Systems programming. Is there any new version of it? YouTube Insights. YouTube. I fucking typed Insights. The fuck? Oh, it's only for Google. Ah, shit. I forgot I'm not using Google. I'll find something for you. Okay. What's the year? Why is it strange? Is it like nobody has to like? Do you know that actual Linux kernel has more contributions from India? Maybe you need to check that. The entire Debian, I believe, is handled by some South Indian team. Well, my wife is away, that's why. If not, she'll kill me. Probably once she's back, I'll move my schedule back to working days, not on weekends. I think there's no new MIT systems programming courses as of now. Everything's old batch course. I can find something. Courses. Can we search courses, systems? It's all old syllabus. I'm checking if there's any new. Yes, life comes first. What the fuck is that? I guess I saw something about security. Right? Okay, we fucked. We're fucked. Okay. Shit it. Let's try operating systems. Looks like we don't have any good courses in MIT for operating systems or in general systems programming. We only have old courses. That's sad. I'm in Stockholm, Sweden. That's sad. There's no good systems programming course in MIT open sourceware. Maybe we'll check their online calendar. Is there anything? But I do remember seeing something. It was actually. It must be useful because lots of people have been asking me, is there any structured way to learn systems programming? I wanted to see something. We put explore and computer science. That is all there is. Okay. What topics? Lots of people asked me for this. Even I wanted to see if there's any actual structured systems programming. And that is actually also free, because that's important. We should never pay for anything. If someone asks you to pay, probably they are lying. Distributed algorithms, game theory, computer networks. We have system architecture. than that. To engineering. Performance engineering. There's one more repository. It's called Open University. University GitHub. Yeah, Open Source Society, not Open Source Society. Open Source University is this. And what's their website? They have pricing? What the fuck? Why the fuck did they give it as open source then? Maybe this is not the one that I was talking about. Maybe this one. Oh shit. It's not here either. But this one is also good. And there's one more thing that we can try, which is open security training. This website is also good. Wait, did he change the, not this, I guess this one is the one. Okay, I hear this. And system software security. Yeah, here you can find some courses. This should also be useful in terms of learning. Systems programming in general. Yeah, I guess you can just take these two courses, see implementation vulnerabilities, and see this should already give you enough information about how to do systems programming. But the structured way would be MIT course. I was expecting MIT would have something, but the fucking thing is... Okay, this one is good. Yeah, you can take this course. Yeah, they start with ISAs, simple pipelines, and then they introduce cache, virtual memory, how pipelines work, memory models. But it's just that it's a really old version, but it should not be that outdated. It should still be relevant. There's no videos. What the fuck? Lectures. Okay, there's no videos. That's sad. Let's see. Google this. Maybe it is there. Videos. Looks like it's not there. I'll have to find something interesting. Actually, I remember finding something, but I don't remember the exact website now. There is some GitHub repo with the proper way to do systems programming. But yeah, you can just first of all you can try this one. This guy also has proper way to try everything. ost2.fyi. This website. This is also good. It's called cs.ossu.dev. Other than that, I'll have to find some open source course that is taught either in Stanford or in Princeton. There must be something. Systems programming. Fall. We will try systems programming Spring. Okay, I'll try to find it myself sometime. But these two resources should be fine. But yeah, if you actually wanna get like a structured way to learn something, you have to build a small thing, and once you try to build something, you'll see that you found some issues, or maybe you don't know some things, and then you can look it up and you can keep building on it. I mean, that's how I learned most of the stuff. But that will take a lot of time. If you don't have a lot of time, then yes, a structured course would be better. But if you have time, I would just suggest you to just take a syllabus and keep trying on your own. Okay, where did we leave? So we try to print. Oh, fuck me. I just printed what I wrote. Shit, my fucking eyesight is not working. I must be so dumb. I didn't even read my fucking line. Write 2000 and read from this. Now let's see what happens. So fucking stupid. Okay, now if we don't write anything, what's in there? UN 64 15. Okay, we're still able to find it. Okay, now let's read second block. No, first block. Let's see what's inside there. Okay, now we are able to see 1000 in it, because here you can see it's 110071 something. Now if we go to our Docker example, and if we okay, I have to type it. Shit. It should be td if in ext for image skip one bs forge 512. I don't know if it's correct. What's the correct command? No, fuck me. And read block one. What the hell? Command read block one. Now we read it. It should be okay. It does not have hyphen in the front. Okay. So I just remove this hyphen, No, if okay, if is the in. Okay. Base skip count. Okay. So it should be 4096 and I skip one and I just pass it to XST. And that fucking command is not that. Date. Install XST. Oh, if we try it. That's a lot of data. We just want count as one. So it should count. So we only get next 1056 bytes. And here you can see it's 001. 0101 4 zeros and 110. And just copy this fucking thing. Just paste it here. Let's kill it. Oh shit. Something's wrong. It's not this. But last time I did see that. Maybe I'm. Why is that every time I have to fucking. Install XSD today. Because I'm using run, it's not able to keep everything in memory. If it's a apt. Wait, we are doing x4, skip 1 and count as 4096. I fucking hate my terminal. It just keeps going back. It is 101 something something. It's definitely not what we read there. Something is wrong. Something is still wrong. Why? Well, let's try. Block reads. Block write is there. And print again. Now if I read block 1, I'm just getting zeros. Why? Why? But if I just put 512, then what do I get? Then I get something. So it's definitely my indexing is wrong inside block read. So here my starting index is block into 8 because every block has 8 sectors. So starting index should be block into 8 and ending index should be starting index plus size divided by 512. So if size divided by 512 returns, let's check what it would return. It shall say 4096. It should return 8. 512. It would return 8. So 0 plus 8 is 7. We would get 8 again. So here ending index is 8 and it's up to 8, so it is correct. So we read the first index. Here we are passing data. That's the issue. We're supposed to pass current data. Oh, fucking hell. Because we are taking data as the base address and we are incrementing 512 at every iteration, and this is the base address that we have to pass here. I'm fucking stupid. Okay, what now? Block reads data from first index. I want to read 512 bytes. And what output do we have there? We don't have anything. Okay, right after that we do have some bytes. But why is that byte not block 1? What the crap? Read into data. Now let's just put 4096 here then. Let's see what happens. Nothing changed. I just get holy fuck. Why the fuck are we still reading 1000 sectors? I've read it here. Well, let's try 2 then. Let's see what happens. Looks like we are just printing whatever there is here. This data did not seem to have did any goods. We take the data, we get the current data, we pass it down here. So shouldn't we have, let's just print this data here. Let's see what the fuck is happening there. Let's copy this, come here, paste it, and put a new art, reading sector, and current sector is I. Done reading sector. Okay. Now let's see. Okay. So here we are trying to read sector 16. Why the fuck? Why the fuck? Because it's block read 2. That means we need to read from 0 to block 0 is 0 to 8, block 1 is 8 to 16, block 2 is 16 to something. So yes, we are supposed to read that. Holy fucking moly. Let's put current data. Okay, now we say we want to read from current data. Let's see what happens there. Okay, if I try to read current data, it is showing different something. Okay, that's good. That means if I try to read from block 1, we have 110 something, and does it match? It does not seem to match here. Maybe it's the ordering, but still there's no 7. Oh fuck. Still, whatever, at least we have something different. Okay, as far as we are here, until we are here, we have things correct. And why is there only one sector read? What happened to the next sector read? I is less than ending index. Starting index is supposed to be 8. 8 plus 8 should be 16. It's going to be monolith or microkernel. Not microkernel, it's going to be monolith. It's just gonna have all the subsystems in general. Microkernels are no, not microkernel. But as of now, I don't have many features in my kernel, so I don't know. So it's going to be starting index and ending index. Starting index, ending index. Let's see. Where's my print message? Okay, so starting index is 8, ending index is 16. So shouldn't I get at least 8 iterations? I start from starting index, which is 8. 8 is less than 16. I go in here, I read the sector, I print it. And why the fuck is it not going to next iteration? Ah, shit. Here I'm using I here. Fuck me. This is why you should not use random things. Okay, so this is a separate I. And it doesn't, it's just for printing. And here we are just using I, and here we are using I, and this is just for random prints. Okay, now let's see. Maybe that is what is happening. Okay, now we have all the sectors red. So we have first sector, which is just zeros. Second sector, which is also just zeros. And third sector, we have some 002 something. And fourth sector is just some random value. Fifth sector is just zeros. Sixth sector is also zeros. Seventh sector is also zeros. Okay, I have to check it here. Reading sector 8. Okay, sector 8 has this. And then I'm reading sector 9, which has this. And sector 10 and so on. So now we remove this. I just want to see if we are reading all the sectors properly. So the output of the sectors are fine. So we are reading all the sectors, but the moment we come outside, the fucking thing just goes back. Probably are we passing the pointer? We are passing the pointer. Holy fucking moly. I'm only okay, now it should work. Okay, even now it's not working. God, we have I equal to 0, and I call sector, and I am calling block reads. Wait. Block read is supposed to get block. Sector read is supposed to get the sector. And why is it still showing sector here? I don't know. It looks like we are passing a data, but that data seems to be not being used at all. We have passed this here. And inside that we have the sector read, which is also gonna take the pointer and it passing it down. And when we print it here, we actually have the proper values. Well, let's just print data here then. Still inside read. Okay. Okay, so when we read it in the end, this did not get affected at all. Why? Within the loop, we are using that pointer and we were able to read it. But end of the loop, when we try to read it from the data, it's not working. That's some holy fucking shit. Why is that? It's just a pointer. Do you want me to cast it? I have no fucking clue. How is it possible? We have a pointer. That we get here and we just do pointer arithmetic to get into that pointer to some particular index, and Mm. And we again pass it down here. And when we read it from data, it's not there. It's just oh. Okay, let's pass it directly here. Maybe you don't like extra stuff. Now what will happen? Even now we still get the same fucking thing. Now I'm directly passing data. Data plus I into 512. That's just impossible. I have no fucking clue. No fucking clue. Well, we'll just put the break statement in sector read. There's no other way. Okay. Now if we go here and let's disassemble sector read. So this is where our sector read is. So we take this and say break 1 2 3 4. Okay, now if we run it, okay, so we are inside the first break statement. Let's see. I think x1 and x2 are supposed to be the pointers. Let's see what's inside the x1. Examine x1. So we have this. Now if we try the same thing, we have plus 200. What does that mean? Is 200 512? We need to check decimal to hex, and decimal is 512. Okay, hex is 200, so we are incrementing it. So in the first iteration we had this address, and in the second iteration we have address plus 200. Okay, that's fine. Now if we continue and we go to x1 again, now we have 400, so it is fine. It seems to be working. Okay, we can do one more thing. Let's do two things. Let's break disassemble block read, so we know the actual address of data. Copy this and we star go here and we disassemble sector read. Take this address. If we can just copy it properly, and we just put B star this and put 1 2 3 4. Now if we run it, now we are in the block read, and let's take the second argument, because block read second argument is the data, which it should be in x1. Now if we print x1, we have this address. So block read is in here. Block reads data. And now if I just continue, now we are in sector read 1. In sector read 1, the x1 value is this. And for some reason we also get you can't access this memory error. Maybe we have to deal with it. It looks like maybe that is the actual issue. When we reach sector read data, and now let's go to second iteration. In second iteration, the x1 value is this, and here it is accessible because we get some value. If we take this, so it is incrementing properly, and we have the same address, so it is definitely fine. And we have only increment 512 bytes. Iteration 1, iteration 0, sector read data, iteration 1. Okay, now if we continue, we do that for, let's say, 16 times. Oh yeah, I should have fucking printed, only then I'll know in the end what was there. Shit. Because when we come out of that sector 15 and when we read that data, we just get this. How is it even possible? Maybe it's possible in my fucking kernel. some page is not getting updated, something like that. No clue. No fucking clue. I never thought I would be debugging an error like this. We are just passing a fucking pointer, and the pointer has the value within the loop but not outside the loop. Maybe we can also print what it has within the loop. I think we did already. Oh shit. I fucking hate it when it just randomly goes back to a different version. So okay, now let's paste it here, and within the iteration let's read from the data directly. Char star what equal to data plus I into 512. And what? Okay, now let's see. So even here when we read sector we actually get something, and when we pass it to a new variable and if we read it, it's working. Oh my god, how is this fucking possible? Okay, if that is possible, then we can do one thing. I can just say data of I'm just printing data. What? I cannot believe this. What actually happens when I try to dereference data? I have to find the page, execute it, get the data from it. How is it even possible to change the data? No idea. No fucking idea. It must be something with my setup. Because it's the same pointer. We confirmed even the location of the pointer. So even the location is correct, but we did see one error here. GDB for some reason showed memory not accessible in first iteration, 0th iteration, or it did not stop in one time. Dude, no. The block read has C0, but sector read has B0. That's why it's not working. I have to use my fucking eyes. Why the fuck is it getting different address? Where's data? Data is here, and data is only manipulated once. Then how come the data being passed here is different? Okay, at least now we know what the issue is. This is put printer. Block reads data, pointer is data. So now we have the actual pointer. Now we'll say here, put here, and it's going to be data plus I star 512. Maybe the arithmetic is the one that is incrementing. I mean, it is supposed to increment it. Current data put current data. Okay, now let's print. Okay, if we move to the top, where are we? Block reads, and we have this is the data. So let's copy it, and if we put it here, we get D000. That's correct. That is what we saw in the GDB2. And we put sector. Confusing. Okay, we have the block read again. We come here, we copy, we paste, we put, we get CC0. Okay, and if we go back again, that's the CC0, which is the block read data. And if we come to the read sector, here we have the read sector's data, which is going to D20. That's just wrong. Why? We have data here. Are we doing anything to this data? Not at all. We have data. Maybe we should just create a separate data and pass it down here. Maybe internally it's doing some shit. So we pass it down here and then we do a copy back into the main buffer. Maybe we can do something like that. Because for some fucking reason, just by adding 512, I'm reaching from C00 to D00. That's just so fucking annoying. Or is it the valid case? How is it possible? If I add 512, it should just be 200. And the initial case was this. And it's C000. Let's just put 0 here and see. Every time we are just going to write to 0th buffer. At least if that's returning zeros, then maybe we can solve it. Okay, now we have all zeros. That means this one operation is what is causing the entire trouble. Okay, then I'll just add a new event 32 10 data index equal to 0. Data index into 512 and data index plus equal to data index. Now okay, now it's full of zeros. Okay, that's better. That's a lot better. Now we have data plus data index plus 512, and for every data index what did we get? But this time we are just getting zeros every time. It should be current data. No, it should be data index. And let's move this down here. Now we have actually read some data. And after all sectors, full read has returned just zeros. We still have the same issue. But it has something to do with the I. So let's just rename all I values. I think so. Maybe it definitely has something to do with the I value. But how is that possible? For some reason, just by changing the index to data index, I was able to change the output. So it somehow is affecting it. I just don't know how. How is this I value affected? That's the question. Which I don't have an answer. So I'm just going to say y and I y plus plus, and we're going to pass iy, and we're going to pass iy, and we're gonna pass iy here too. Okay, let's see what happens now. It's going to be so weird if it works now. It didn't work, but it's returning just zeros. And what are we reading? We're trying to read first block with data and 496. We pass current data. Now if we go to what? My can why is it not working? Sometimes my tags just refuses to work. So block here, the block date is 415584 and the sector read is correct. Let's just create a temp charge star back to the data. Put back. Okay, the fucking thing is getting. Nope. Still the same. Okay guys, okay, let's just write it down. To for some reason the argument for block read, which is data, and same buffer being passed to sector read is not holding the same output. Looks like the data pointer is getting shifted somehow. Figure this out. How is that value changing? We're just doing pointer math. Okay guys, today we managed to do what? I guess we managed to figure out that block read is supposed to have multiple sectors, and every sector needs to be read separately, so we added an extra helper to accomplish that, but somehow the data buffer that is being passed down is not particularly working. So yeah, we'll have to fix this. Okay, I'll see you next week guys. Thank you. Bye.